Hey guys, so I have a bit of an interesting video today. It's not a cover, it's not a tutorial of any kind, but a friend of mine recently told me he uses the same exact string gauge I do, the 10 to 52 D'Addario EXL140s, and he said recently he tried a pair of the D'Addario 8 through 38s, the EXL130s. And he said even though it's not something definitely not something he's going to stick with, he wanted me to give it a try to see what I thought of it. So I figured, sure, why not? You know, $4, $4 or $5. Why not go for a pack just to see what it's like? Billy Gibbons used 8s for a little while. I think he's now onto 7s now, which is I can't even fathom how like just sloppy those would be on a guitar, even in standard or maybe even in F standard or something. Just be ridiculous. So I'm gonna slap these strings on this baby right here. This is my brand new it's not 1950s, it's the 50s version of the road worn Fender Stratocaster. You can see it there if the camera would learn to focus. But so I'm gonna slap these on here. This currently has the 10 to 52s on it, these guys. So I'm expecting a truss rod adjustment and maybe some other things. But yeah, I figure we'll give this a try and see how these feel. And I don't know, I don't think this is going to be a permanent thing for me, and maybe for something that I'm playing like F standard or something, if I can ever find anything to play in F standard. But yeah, so I'll change these over and we'll see how they sound. Excuse the noise for a minute, but I thought we'd just take a brief second to marvel in the beauty of this Fender Road worn Stratocaster. Whatever you think of worn guitars, I don't know, just try and keep an open mind about it, because this is an amazing guitar for what you're getting. I mean, these pickups, the Tex-Mex pickups are amazing. The hardware is amazing, the wood is flawless, the finish is even beautiful, worn and all. But I don't know, I think my prerequisite is if you have a worn guitar, you have to already have a real worn guitar. That's my take on it. But man, just all the detail, I mean, down to the checking in the headstock. I don't know if you can pick that up, but the headstock has checking in it, and as far as I know, this finish on this headstock is actually polyurethane, but you can see it right there, like right in this area. Trying to get the camera as steady as I can, but I have really shaky hands, I apologize. But I guess you can kind of see that. You know, made in Mexico, who cares? This thing it's a beautiful guitar, honestly. I love it. Hello. So, we've switched cameras. You may notice that you can barely see the dang strings on this thing. So, I watched Rob Chapman, and he did a video about 8-gauge strings, and in the video he mentions that it seems like some strings are missing from the pack. He is 100% correct. It feels like there is like 2 strings missing. It's ridiculous. But overall, it's an interesting experience. I've kind of noodled around on this a little bit, just trying it out. It's different. It really is. I wouldn't say that I don't enjoy it, though. It actually seems to... It doesn't seem really foreign to me. I know a lot of people say they can't play it at all. I do have some difficulty. Like when I go to bend strings, I go to bend and I go way above where I'm supposed to be going. So that is a little bit of a drawback. But overall, I'm thoroughly impressed with how well this feels. It's definitely not a permanent thing for me. I think the lightest I would ever go still is like a 9 set, but this was an interesting experience, and if you ever get the chance to pick some up, go for it. Honestly, it's kind of a fun thing, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm running a guitar rig right here. I have a somewhat of a clean sound I'm gonna kind of noodle with, so ignore the playing for now, because it's really, I said I could play good, but I'm a pretty heavy-handed player, so this is really kind of a weird thing for me. So just yeah, cut me some slack. It's exactly what I'm talking about right there. That bend. I go to bend for the proper note, and I go, and then on this radius, that guitar doesn't like that. So yeah, it's an interesting experience. That's for sure. It's fun to noodle with though. Like you just let's get some a little bit more high gain. This is kind of a crappy sound, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, that's the other problem I'm having too. Is I'm pushing the strings out the end of the fretboard because honestly, it feels like there's nothing there. It's especially this high E. You can tell it's there, but man, it feels weird. So I don't know. I guess if you can find a set of 8-gauge strings and you're curious, give it a try because it's an interesting thing. Personally, I think I'm going to stick with my 10 to 52 gauge because you can't really. I usually play an E flat. This is in standard right now, 440. So playing an E flat, I probably wouldn't be able to play this at all. So yeah, it's definitely an experience, but I'll leave it up to you to decide if these are really the strings you want to go for. So until next time, keep playing.